So, on our journey back from Maine down to Virginia, so my mom drove up to Maine to come visit for spring break, and we were going to stay at my grandma's around the Bangor area. But since everything closed up, we just packed everything and brought it to my grandmother's, hung out there for a couple weeks until like the most intense point of the outbreak started in that area, and pretty much until we couldn't stand being in the middle of nowhere. So we packed the cars up and we're doing great until we got rerouted on our way down from Maine to go through, in the middle of the night, Manhattan, the epicenter of it all. And when we pulled off the exit that it told us to reroute to, our cars kind of got swarmed with homeless folk. And it was like altogether very intense and terrifying. Then it rerouted us again to the Newark airport, which made no sense at all. And then we jumped back on the highway, and as we were just getting back on the highway, my mom was in her car in front of me, blew out her tire on her passenger side. So when that happened, we ended up waiting on the side of the highway in around somewhere close to Newark, just like right outside of it, which turned out to be the epicenter of New Jersey's outbreak. And yeah, that was pretty terrifying because we sat there. Our car did not get towed to Pet Boys, which when the tow truck guy did show up, it took all of about 30 minutes for him to get it loaded up, take it where it needed to be, and dropped us off at the auto body shop. But it was about 4 in the morning, so we waited on the highway since about 9:30, and it was very ridiculous having to sit there, and our insurance that we pay, so much for, doesn't do anything for us. Turns out they had canceled our order and all this other stuff, and had no idea we were still waiting on the side of the highway, which was lovely. Then, to avoid getting more in contact with the outside world, seeing as where we were, because I brought it up on my computer while we were just sitting there waiting, we slept in the car. I slept. She didn't really sleep, because we ended up just following behind the tow truck, and then when we got there, just transferred to one car with the dog, and slept there overnight. And then next day, come to find out that we had to get a ton more stuff done to the car because where the tire had blown, it really did damage to the car. So that was, yeah. So what was supposed to be leaving at noon, getting in at 2 in the morning, ended up being a 2-day trip, because we usually just drive straight through. And yeah, that was not the case this time. But we made it. We got home safe and sound afterwards. That we were on the shoulder of the highway the whole night, so we were in the blind spot of where all the big truckers or semis would come through, and that was terrifying to think that one of them's gonna collide into the car, and just overall was nerve-wrackingly fun. And then classes began, and they had began Monday, and we were trying to get home by Monday. Well, get home by late Sunday night so I could start classes beforehand, and then it just kind of set me off on a instant having to play catch-up mode, which was not the best, but I'm finding these classes that are going a little bit easier now, so